Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can wash your car using a pressure washer. But before we get outside and start washing up my brand new Ford Mustang today, what I'm going to do is show you guys all the products that I'm going to be using today, and every single one of them will be linked down below in the description. But keep in mind, I am not sponsored by anybody here today. I bought all of this stuff that I'm using with my own money based on my own research. So first, for the pressure washer, I'm going to be using the Westinghouse pressure washer. I picked this up from Home Depot a few weeks ago for about 80 bucks on sale. Full price, I think, is about 100 bucks, but if you wait, you can pick it up on sale like I did. This is not the highest end Westinghouse pressure washer that you can get. This is basically the lowest end Westinghouse pressure washer that you can get. Again, if you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description. I have tested it out already and it seems to work pretty good, and it's also pretty compact, so I like it so far. Next, if you guys missed my previous video where I did a basic unboxing over this Tool Daily foam cannon, I'll leave a link up top and in the description. But today I'm finally going to be using this thing for the very first time. Really excited. I picked this up for only $18 on Amazon and it is extremely high rated, so hopefully I can get a really high level of foam on my car. I've been struggling to get a lot of foam out of the cheap foam cannon that the pressure washer came with itself, so that's why I picked this up. For the foaming soap, I'm going to be using this Chemical Guys Honeydew Auto Wash right here. This I picked up for $11 on Amazon, but you can also buy this from Walmart, AutoZone, and many other places. This I picked up because it's highly rated for only $11. Next, once I'm done washing, what I'm going to do during the drying process is I'm going to be using this Chemical Guys After Wash right here. What this is going to do is it's really going to help me prevent hard water spots, since I am going to be using hard water from the hose today with the pressure washer. This is also going to help give me a little bit of a gloss, and it also smells really good. And again, once I'm done completely washing the car, I'm going to be using this Armor All Extreme Tire Shine right here. I have used this before, works really good, really easy to apply, and really makes the tires shine. And I also want to show you guys what drying towels I'm going to be using. So I got two of them here. I'll probably end up using both of these, but really based on the size of my car, and if you drive like a smaller sedan or SUV or something, one of these towels will actually dry the entire car no problem. These I also picked up on Amazon. They're the 1200 GSM car drying towels right here. I initially started with the Amazon Basic auto towels, but those ended up leaving a bunch of lint all over my car and my girlfriend's car when I was washing hers. So I decided to pick these up, and these are much better so far. And now, before we finally go out there and start washing, the reason I'm not using like a 2-bucket method or something today and using some mitts, which normally I would do, is because my car is not super dirty today. It's mainly just dusty and has a little bit of dirt on it. But if the car was really dirty, like I had mud and stuff, I would definitely do a foaming layer, rinse, then foam again, and then use the mitts and everything to really get everything off. But today, since it's not super dirty, I'm just gonna go ahead and start with a foaming layer, rinse it off, then dry it up with these towels and a little bit of the Chemical Guys After Wash. I will be doing a deeper exterior detail on my truck coming up really soon, because that thing is really dirty, so make sure you stay tuned. But for now, let's get outside, plug in the pressure washer, and try out this foam cannon and the rest of this stuff, and I'll show you guys how to do it. All right, everybody, we are outside. My car is right here. As you guys can see, I got the pressure washer set up and ready to go. Again, links to everything I use in today's video will be down below in the description, and I am not sponsored. Here is the I always forget the name of this foam cannon right here. I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up. I got it about 3/4 of the way full with a little bit of warm water. All right, and to start off this process, I'm gonna put about 2 to 3 ounces of the Chemical Guys solution in there, and then go from that point. A little bit zoomed in here. So just gonna fill this up a little bit to until it's kind of yellow. Solution itself is green. I don't know if you guys can see that real well. Doing the best I can here with the equipment that I got. All right, that should be enough. All right, guys, so we got the solution in there. I probably put a little bit less than about 2 to 3 ounces, but I kind of just eyeballed it. And then what I'm not going to do is shake this up real violently. I'm just going to kind of turn it back and forth. That's what I've seen online. That's what people are recommending, just to kind of mix it up good. And then I got my pressure washer on. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect this to my pressure washer. And what you want to do is make sure that you start by pointing this thing away from your car so you don't have any accidents or anything. This thing is a little bit loose right now. I don't know if this is supposed to like wobble back and forth like this. It kind of looks like it is. But I'm going to turn this all the way. I'm going to turn this all the way to the minus and then turn about halfway. And then I'm going to leave this little opening at the front all the way open and see what that does. I have not used this before. I've used the pressure washer, but not this foam cannon, so we're going to give it a shot. Let's crank on this pressure washer. You're probably not going to be able to hear me really well, so I'm going to crank this on and then give it a shot, show you guys if it's working. All right, so here it is. Seems to be foaming up pretty good. It's a little bit strong, so I'm going to mess with the settings, just kind of play with it. There we go. So that was definitely the foam I was looking for. Hey, that's looking good. All right, guys, so I figured out what I'm doing here. I don't know what I did on the top. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. And then right here, I made it really skinny, but I made it really skinny to try and fan it out real good. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know in the comments. All right, let's do this. All right, guys, I successfully foamed up the entire car at this point. What I'm gonna do is let it sit for a little bit. Then I'm gonna come back with just some water and just pressure wash it all down, and I'll show you guys that process. I let the foam sit for a little bit. You guys can see it kind of came off a little bit, but it is still sticking on there pretty good. The foam cannon itself here worked really good, along with the Chemical Guys Honeydew Snow Foam Soap worked really good. It gave me a really extreme foam that I was particularly looking for. Now I got just my normal pressure washer here, and I'm going to be using the 25-degree end right here to pressure wash it. Definitely don't want to get this super close to my car, but I am going to try and get it about 3 to 4 feet away just to really pressure wash all that dirt and grime that this foam is going to be getting off of my car. And as always, I'm going to test this pointing it away from my car first, just to make sure I don't shoot this tip at my car. So let's go ahead and try it out. All right, so I'm good. I can start rinsing down the car real quick. And what I'm going to do is start from the top and go down so I don't start blasting dirt up on the paint of my car. The reason I'm doing this myself again is because I don't want to ruin the paint, and I want to preserve the PPF on the car. All right, let's do this, guys. All right, guys, I'm done spraying down the car with the pressure washer, but I need to do one more thing before I start drying. I need to get the door welds. Correct me if I am wrong about that name. I will show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. I can't remember the exact name of it, so I'm just going to call it door welds for this video. All right, guys, so now you want to be really careful with this portion. Again, if I'm getting the name of this incorrect, I'm going to call this portion right here the door weld for today's video, and this little part right here. So I'm going to get in here with the pressure washer, but I'm going to be really careful not to get a bunch of water on the inside of my car, just enough to spray it down. And I'm not going to be using soap on this portion because it's not super dirty on my car, but I just want to get all the dirt and debris off of that portion. So let's go ahead and do it. So that's all there is to it, guys. You don't want to get in there too crazy because you got electronics, for example, here with the speaker, and then you got wires up underneath the driver's side seat, and you don't want to blast water all inside of the car, especially if you're doing this for somebody else, because then it just creates a mess. So just real basic, and you want to be real careful about it. All right, guys, I'm going to do the same thing in the back here of the car. I got all this area where the water did not reach, so I'm going to blast it all down really quick, just being extremely careful not to blast water all in the trunk. That's all there is to it. I don't want to use too much water and risk getting too much humidity up here inside of the car. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit like here, but I'm going to come back and wipe it all down. A little bit on the mat in here, but nothing that's going to stink over time or ruin any electronics. And I'm also going to hit the passenger side door really quick. And I had a little bit of soap in there left over, so I'm going to rinse it down one more time in the back. All right, guys, we are done with the wash now. All I need to do is dry it down. And again, I'm not going to be detailing the inside since I just don't have time tonight. You guys can see I'm kind of losing light a little bit. So first, what I'm going to do is spray some of this Chemical Guys after wash all over it while it's still wet. And then what I'm going to do is use one of these car drying cloths right here. All right, guys, now all I'm going to do is unravel this drying cloth here. Basically just throw it on there and just drag it across. That Chemical Guys solution I put on here is really going to help avoid those hard water marks, or hard water spots I should say, and give me a nice glossy finish like I'm getting right here. You can see it's completely dry after this cloth, and I'll just do that around the entire car. All right, guys, I'm done drying it down at this point. You guys can see it's pretty flawless at this point. Didn't even have to put a single mitt or anything on it. It wasn't super dirty. It was mostly just dusty. Had a little bit of grime on it, but wasn't too bad. I'm really happy with the snow foam from Chemical Guys right here. Worked really good. And this foam cannon right here by Tool Daily also worked really well. Foamed a whole heck of a lot, and I probably didn't even have it set to the perfect settings, to be quite honest. This is only 18 bucks on Amazon. That's what I paid for it, and the snow foam was only 11 for me, so a really good deal. Here is the final result. You guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. And I almost forgot, the after wash, like I was saying, gives it a really nice gloss, makes it look just a little bit more glistening. I didn't even put any wax or anything on it at this point. That was just drying it with the after wash. And now that is dry, just to add a little bit more shine to the tires, I'm gonna go around and add some of this Armor All Extreme Tire Shine. To add this stuff on there, all I gotta do is shake it up a little bit and then just come put a nice juicy layer of this stuff over the tires. It's a little bit wet, but it's not wet enough to where it's gonna ruin this stuff going on there. I'll show you guys how to do this real quick. Basically just put a nice juicy layer. Got a little bit on the rim here. I'll come back and wipe that down. Get a nice good layer of this stuff on there. This is gonna kind of be a little bit wet once it gets dark. It usually takes probably about 30 to 45 minutes to completely go ahead and dry off here. It just depends on how hot it is and stuff out here. But this stuff is really gonna give it a nice shine. I'm gonna grab a microfiber cloth, come down and wipe this down a little bit. And as you guys can see, that's all there is to it. I'll go ahead at this point and knock out the remaining 3 wheels, and this will give it a nice shine. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. I will respond to you, and let me know what you guys think about this washing process.